Hey guys, I got a new video. Today we are going to be covering Lightning Strike Armor Stacker. It's going to be a pre-Mage Blood version. And so I did swap over to Lightning Strike yesterday. I've been testing it out in the simulacrums and overall been really pleased with the performance. So I wanted to make a quick comparison video and how to swap over if you do decide you want to play it. So let's first go off and compare the Smite and Lightning Strike. So damage and clear wise, Lightning Strike is beating out Smite in basically every... Yeah, basically it's better than Smite in terms of damage and clear. The only downsides to Lightning Strike is that there's 2 extra buttons you gotta push, like we're still actually using Smite, and we also do have a Sniper's Mark, so we do have a curse. Later on in the build progression for Lightning Strike, we do run a mark on hit support. I just don't have the sockets for it right now. And eventually we'll be running a unset ring for that. Anyways, but aside from that, yeah, Lightning Strike is performing very good. And if you don't mind the extra buttons to push, then yeah, it's going to be a huge damage increase. I think in the POB that I cooked up, it's about 3 to 4 times more damage with all of the buffs. Like when you're using Smite and Sniper's Mark, you can get about close to about 60 million DPS, whereas before on Smite I was about at 15 million. Without the Smite and Sniper's Mark buff, the damage was about 16 million, 17 million. So even without using these 2 extra buttons, you're still getting more damage than Smite initially. Alright, so let's jump into the PLB real quick. Oh, not that. Alright, so this is the POB, and I do have to explain a few things. First of all, let's see. Let's check out the damage. See, the full DPS is at 60 million. Let's just call it 60 million. It's close anyways, right? So Lightning Strike, let's explain the damage a bit. There is a projectile and a melee hit. Now both of these can hit the same target. So you can hit a boss with the melee strike and the projectiles that come out. Okay, so that's why in this config you can see I kind of jerry-rigged it to actually show both. We should just go D&D again. I always forget to do this. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so I have made a melee hit config. You can see we have the melee hit in the full DPS here. Then we have our Vol Lightning Strike. The Vol Lightning Strike, actually you can hold 2 of these, so this would be 30 million. So we're actually doing 75 million DPS, theoretically. Alright. And then we have our projectiles. Now the Lightning Strike projectiles are going to be our main source of damage, as you can see at 31 million DPS. Now Lightning Strike projectiles do have a lot of conditional modifiers that are working for us to get this amount of damage. Let's quickly take a look at what happens if we get rid of our Smite. See, we're going to lose half of our damage. It's kind of interesting, right? Smite is giving us 100% more damage, which is pretty insane. And then we have Sniper's Mark. Sniper's Mark is going to be giving us quite a bit of damage too, about 20 to 25% more damage. And that's kind of why we are kind of in this situation where we need to have these extra buttons to push. Alright, so that's kind of the config. Also, we are taking point blank. So you gotta go use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need 5 points to go pick up point blank. Alright, so we get point blank, and I have the config set to the projectile travel distance to 1, so it's assuming that we're like right on top of the boss, right? So, and then like I added this projectiles deal 40% more damage because I'm trying to figure out how to make this return projectiles, how to calculate this damage. So you can see the return projectiles deal 60% less damage while returning. So yeah, so I just figured 40% more damage should do the trick, but if you guys know a better way, please let me know. So this is kind of like the config. Basically, there's these kind of weird conditional things going on, and I don't really think this is the real number, but it's probably somewhere close to that, and that's what it feels like. So let's quickly talk about Lightning Strike a little bit, why I like it better, and mainly in Simulacrum, is we can actually watch, let's just see. In Simulacrum, we're getting all these projectiles out, so it is working a little bit better with our Watcher's Eye, at least the one I'm using with the ES on hit. The projectiles keep hitting multiple enemies, especially the Vol version, and so we're getting a lot better use of our ES on hit. So the regen is a little bit better, and since the projectiles persist for a few seconds, right? So you shoot them out, you can see they're still flying around, and the Vol version will keep spitting out projectiles. So if a Mana Siphoner spawns on you, like say you get caught in the ring, what would normally happen with Smite is you just run out of mana and your damage just dies, goes down to ZDPS because you can't do anything. But with Lightning Strike, you know, you're still going to be having your projectiles out, and you're also going to be having the Vol ones out most of the time, so those will continue to do damage, and most of the time they end up killing off the Mana Siphoner. So I've noticed my survivability has been, gone up quite a bit after swapping. Oh, also, you know, because you're ranged, basically you can kill off the Mana Siphoners from range. Okay, so there is that other like plus to playing Lightning Strike. Okay, so if you do want to swap over to Lightning Strike, there's a few things that you got to do, a few gear pieces you need. So you do definitely need a Lightning Strike enchanted helmet. The Lightning Strike fires 2 additional projectiles. Without this, it's going to feel really bad, and you probably do want more projectiles than this and, you know, more complete versions of the build. I think another 2 or 3 projectiles is going to be good. I think last League I did use the Dying Sun to get extra projectiles and stuff like that, so but for now the clear as it is very nice, right? So, and if you're going to be getting a rare helmet with this enchant, you're probably not going to have a +2 AoE or aura gem on there, so get a pair of gloves with +2 aura or AoE, and then put your gem setup that you had in your Alpha's Howl. So put the gems you had here into the gloves, basically, so you can keep your level 23 Purity of Ice and your, you know, your nice, get your +2 level to the Determination, Wrath, and that kind of stuff, right? So those 2 items, you probably want those. And then also you probably do want the Anomalous Vol Lightning Strike, because it's going to give you +2 Pierce. Without it, Lightning Strike doesn't have any Pierce, and it's going to feel really bad. Can't afford that, then you can always get the return projectiles on a divergent quality. That's going to give you a +1 pierce. Okay, so can do that if you're on a budget. And yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. I'll keep this PLB in the description. You can go check it out. And yeah, let me know what you think. If there's a better way to config all this kind of new stuff and all that. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.